Okay, we're up and we're live. Give me a second to forward this to a few other groups, and then we should be starting quite shortly. Also got also got a friend request. I don't know who you are. Some if you happen to be watching and you're somewhat here, do tell me a little bit about yourself, and I might consider. I don't usually put a lot of people on friend lists for various reasons and whatnot. I tend to be very conservative about it. Yeah, it's a FB is a social media platform, but me as a person, I kind of need to work a bit on the social part. Not exactly the most social person in the planet, but anyway, we got that through. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today we are going to be doing, we're going to be doing turf brawls here. So I actually called it Turf Wars. I should probably rename that. Anyway, we're going to be doing the turf brawls festival here, and it's just pre-constructed brawl. Not too shabby itself. We got 5 different decks, all of them based around the 5 families. We're gonna do a quick look over each of them. I'll start with the most obvious one, Jinnie Fey Jetmir second. Definitely all about token creation here. So it basically converts all your tokens into either 2/2 green cats or 3/1 dogs. And we're gonna have so many ways of generating tokens between Usher of the Fallen, Clarion Spirit. I'm gonna almost every card here generates a token, so I'm not gonna just bother listing everyone out. I think the main highlights here would be like Battle for Bretta Guard. This causes doubling. It's a double effect. Old Gnawbone generates a lot of treasures with damage, so that converts into a lot of tokens. Rabble Rousing makes tokens, also gives us a free hideaway. Stensia Uprising. I suspect we're never going to hit exactly 13 with this. We're either gonna shoot way over or gonna be way under. But otherwise, that's really all that's about. It is kind of light on the removal aspect here. Hey, Philip M. Gibo, thank you for liking the stream. Hey, and also Jericho Elagan. Let's see if there you go. Thank you for liking the stream as well. How are you guys doing? So we're gonna be doing something a bit different. Still kind of waiting for the new Capenna plus Alchemy Brawl. So we're going over the different Alchemy Brawl, Alchemy Draft. So we're going over the different decks of the turf brawls. So so this one's very simple. It's all about making tokens, but the interesting part to note is the removal suite. You have Borrowed Time, Sigarda's Imprisonment, Stensia Uprising. I would not consider that reliable removal. By invitation only is our board wipe. Lacerate Flesh. So we got literally 5 pieces if we count Kabira Takedown. And we have some artifact enchantment removal with Citizen's Crowbar. We got a Ganjo, that's also a piece of removal. So effectively 6 pieces of removal. Doing all right. How about me? Actually feeling better. I had a bit of a bout of food poisoning yesterday. So, but I'm feeling better right now. Just basically liquid diet for one day and kind of taking it easy. I'm not letting it go too hard on me. So this one's so another easy one is Rigo Streetwise Mentor here. This one's all about generating card advantage by attacking with creatures of power 1 or less. So we're looking at cards like Toski, cards like Suspicious Stowaway, Thousand Face Shadow. Lots of cards that can get through. Eventually we're gonna want to have creatures that are larger, but it's all about getting a lot of incidental advantage over time and then slamming it over time. Like we have Taxidermist that gets bigger eventually. We got Monk class here, which is quite interesting. So they really want to cast multiple spells over time. This one has one. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's kind of removal. It's 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I will say that. Okay, Iganjo also. I would say that at least the Rigo deck has 8 pieces of removal. Also, I didn't realize. So pressing tab brings out the friends list. So let's see if we can go over a deck that might have more removal. Let's try Evelyn the Covetous. What is her shtick? So exile the top card of each player's library with a collection counter on it. Once each turn, you may play a card. This is contingent on Evelyn still being on the battlefield. Otherwise, the collection counters mean nothing. But the flip side of this is that as long as they remain exiled with collection counters, well, if you replay Evelyn, those go back live. So we're looking at the standard vampire deck here: Pit Fighter, Epicure, Null Priest, Bloodcaster. So lots of vampires to trigger off Evelyn, get extra advantage that way. As far as removal, okay, we got the good one in Bloodchief's Thirst and the bad one in Foul Play. Valky's kind of removal. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Vampire's Vengeance is a board wipe, so that's removal. Maestro's Charm counts as removal, that's 5. Henrika's a bit of removal. So I'm starting to notice a pattern where a lot of these decks are going to be so low on removal. Let's take a look at Orfeo, see if he is any better. So his shtick is doubling creatures' power every turn. So we got Unnatural Growth to kind of go with it. It's all about buffing up that power. A lot of the creatures are either going to have very high power to begin with or can gain power over time. So as far as removal is concerned, Lunar Frenzy, Foul Play, Tendrils, Tendrils works, Inscription works. Arnie Slays the Troll kind of works, 5. We have a Murder, so that's pretty solid. Kazil's Fury kind of counts as removal. Okay, starting to... Okay, Zayatora also removal, but reliably we only have 7 pieces. 8 if you count Zayatora. So... this is going to be very interesting. None of the decks are going to have a lot of removal here, so it's really about setting up your engine. So if this were a draft setup, I would call this more similar to a Tinker's Cube draft. So Toulouse's shtick here is lots of conniving, and the cards that get discarded are exiled instead. And when Toulouse dies, you get the exiled cards into your hand. So card advantage over time. So I'm not so sure which one if I would prefer Toulouse or Rigo. Toulouse's deck seems to benefit more from drawing a lot of cards between the Keza and has the removal slightly more well, I wouldn't say more solid. Bloodchief's Thirst and Rite of Oblivion are more solid, but then we get Hold for Ransom, Sigarda's Imprisonment. Siphon Essence, kind of removal, might be relevant for this one. Obscure Charm, this one's definitely removal. We have a Depopulate here. Actually, looking over these, my initial impression is pretty much going to be Toulouse, Rigo, Jinnie, Toulouse, Rigo, Orfeo, Evelyn, and Jinnie would be all at the same spot right now. I need to play these to test it out. So not so sure. So I really can't say which of these I would rank them highest. But you know what? Let's put these guys to the test. Let's start with one of the tier 3 decks I had in mind. So let's start with Evelyn. Let's see how she pans out. Yeah, not exactly doing draft right now. Kind of want to take things easy. No need to rush things out. So we always get a free mulligan with Brawl, and okay, we do get the clue. Our opponent's running Orfeo, so he's kind of mid-range. We have Haunted Ridge Island, so, but our opponent doesn't have that many creatures with 2 toughness. So this might actually be a pass. We do get Anya at 4. I'll keep it. They do have a few. They do have some creatures at 2. Hopefully we can hit a black or red source along the way. Yikes! Now I wish I played this earlier. I forgot we had solid 1-drops. Opponent is taking their time also. They hit the Fireblade Charger, so not the strongest thing. This is an instant, so I can actually kind of wait it out a bit. I could play Epicure now, but I kind of want to see what they do next. There's a chance that they drop another decent creature. I'm not so sure in the... Ooh. Valley just dodges it. Ooh, nice dodge. So we take 2 damage no matter. So we're only gonna take 2 damage over it all. Let's see. So we are gonna hit our Anya into Katose timing. Corpse Appraiser. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1. I think I would rather spend my mana on Anya right now because I... Also, with the I can start sacking blood tokens if things get really bad. Opponent probably goes for Orfeo. I also have to remember that Evelyn has flash, so I can choose to wait on her a little bit. Also, Katose is not a vampire, so not exactly getting the benefit of that. We did hit an Olivia, so lots of vampires here. I know our opponent has at least 6-7 pieces of removal on available. We're gonna force them to use up some of them. I guess not. Wait, they probably still have it. Okay, they're taking. We're gonna pass because we know we can just flash in Evelyn. The flash is kind of relevant here for us. Our opponent can actually just drop Orfeo, make this into 4 power. So, and though Evelyn's a 2/5, so gets the buff. Pass. Swings, gets the double. So now I need to decide if I want to block or if I just want to take. I'm gonna flash this in now. Hit the Maestro's Diabloist. I'm actually gonna just take. So I can choose to play the Bloodfell Caves, but do I have a sequence where I can play multiples? Crimson Bride's kind of a waste here. Diablo is not so much. It's a 1/4 with Death Touch Haste. That does ruin. Actually, yeah, we'll go Bloodfell Caves. It does lock us out of Diabloist though. Katose. Exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. Let's set up our next turn. Get rid of the Fireblade Charger. And let's see, which one would I want to have in my... So, Gisa. If a creature opponent controls would die, exile it instead. That's pretty decent. Cemetery Gatekeeper. King Narfi's Betrayal. I think we go with Gisa for now. Swing with Anya again. And we can always crack the clue, and we can crack the clue tokens for life anytime. Shame that none of... Oh, we also took their Drana. That's quite good. So probably don't play a land off this. Flame Skull, sure. There's a chance that Orfeo doubles the Flame Skull. Reclusive Taxidermist, so that doubles up to 4. They could also double the Valet instead. Yeah, they're gonna double the Valet. This doesn't have haste. I can block with Corpse Appraiser. Because the Corpse Appraiser did its job already. Then we can crack one of these for life. So we hit a Shipwreck Marsh. Wow, Evelyn's doing a really good job here. So we just exiled more lands. We can drop Epicure, but I'm probably going to just drop Gisa instead. So we get to swing with the Diabloist. I probably don't want to swing with Anya this time. Opponent might end up just taking the 2 damage here. And then we're going to start taking 6 up on the air. Probably don't play the Draw Knight. Okay, they're going for Halana Elena. Okay, now we have to start doing quite a bit of math here. Yeah, they want to stack it on Flame Skull. The lack of removal is going to be a concern for us here. So we go down to 7. Do they have another way to buff its power toughness? But otherwise we can do 2, 4, 6, 8. We have exactly 8, so we can drain them for 8 and try to swing with the rest. They might have removed. If they have removal for Anya, then we are in trouble. They might have a Kazul's Fury also. I forgot the deck has that one. They might be able to snipe us. I might have misplayed this one by. Yeah, they had the Kazul's Fury. It will use LKI. Yeah, that kills us. We goofed up on that one. That's a bit on our fault. I remember the Kazul's Fury. We did not leave ourselves enough mana to. We probably should not have played all. We should have left mana up all the time. That said, I'm actually gonna give this deck another shot. If I don't win with by the second game, we'll skip over to the next one. If there's still time, then I'll come back, try to win. We need to at least get 5. Ideally, the goal is 5 wins. Okay, so not a bad start. We have an aggro start with Celebrant into floor. We have with Celebrant into either Falcon. We have multiple choices. We are a bit of ways away from Evelyn though. Our opponent is playing a Jinnie Fae deck, so we should expect a lot of tokens. The first strike is going to be quite relevant here. Yeah, so we're gonna try to go for the first strike between Blood Petal and Floiran to help us hit our land drops. Yeah, we have to always take note about the amount of that there isn't that much removal for us to lean on. Opponent hits an Usher. Waterfront District ETB's tap, so I'm gonna swing first. Opponent might have spot removal. Probably not. So we're gonna play the Floiran so we don't accidentally flip a card we don't. Opponent's now gonna be incentivized to snipe Floiran, but we are Floiran. Sorry. If our opponent drops Jinnie Fae, it does put the damper on Blood Petal Celebrant. Hostile Takeover is our sweeper here, so that's something we're on the lookout for. So opponent goes for Jinnie Fae right away. Probably setting to combo with. Okay. Ooh, I should have also swung first. I might have wanted to hit a land. There's also an argument for so and this is played the exiled card this turn. I would not have been able to play any of the cards anyway, so there. So we have to draw a card, lose a life here. Okay, good. We hit our mana. So we do get to start going off with Evelyn for the time being. We can also do a hostile takeover anytime. This is probably our best card against the Jinnie Fade deck, so we have to keep that in mind. It also kind of wipes our board, though we can probably save Florian. Immerstrom Predator is a decent follow-up also. I might start with Evelyn, though. Opponent goes Mirror Breaker. So I am willing to just trade the Blood Petal Celebrant for this guy. Also, he doesn't make treasure tokens anymore. He makes cats or dogs. Opponent willing to give it up. If there's a 1-mana removal, I don't see it. So I don't understand why our opponent... Well, I guess they're trying to set it up for this one. And I really should stop playing lands first. Okay, let's cancel that. If our opponents think of chump blocking, they might have a by invitation only. So... yeah. Okay. We could sack the blood token. Yeah, I need to remember how to play with Florian. You don't play lands immediately because you might hit lands. Though we are... Okay, opponent discards Minx and Morningstar. I kind of want them to land... Wait for this to flip before I do the hostile takeover. Landing Jetmir is actually quite fine. Opponent not attacking also. So I'm probably not going to swing with... What I could do is I could run Master Diabloist, swing with Death Touch Haste. Opponent probably not gonna... Probably does not block. No, we'll just play the Immerstrom Predator. So what we could do is we can make the... Just waiting for our opponent to start unloading a little bit. Black Market Tycoon, that's an unload, good. They might have a way to protect their creatures that I don't know of. Opponent also gonna be careful attacking into this. Yeah, they can't really attack. Now, because of this, I actually do get to attack first. Let's eat mint. Let's eat Space Hamster. Opponent will take damage. So I'm deciding if we don't have the land, so I can't exactly take Valky. I can take Drana. Let's actually do a double check. So opponent not gonna be. So opponent kind of still waiting for the correct moment to go wide. I'm actually gonna need to be careful, otherwise I'm gonna be sitting on a hostile takeover. I can't be too greedy. Opponent goes Jinnie Fey. Also note that if they make a token, okay, it doesn't become, so no treasures there. So that's the combo with Black Market Tycoon. So it's Vigilance Trample. And that actually, the token degenerated from here will still have to be sacrificed. That's why they're going for the haste one. So we're going to take a little bit of damage here. Opponent could actually... Yeah, we'll take... We'll take the 8-4 now. Token goes. And now time for the big blowout. Yep. Opponent. Yeah, opponent conceded there. Looks like they kind of... Actually, it's between that and the creatures I have on the air, I would have been able to take them out. But yeah, that's actually kind of... So maybe in that sense, I would rate Evelyn slightly. I would rate Evelyn higher over Jinnie Fey. Okay, we got Sanders Lounge. That's a nice... That's actually a decent reward. So let's do Jinnie Fey next. Let's see if we can make her work out better. So yeah, if I have to... Orfeo does have some very good mid-range creatures, so I did put the three decks, Orfeo, Evelyn, Jinnie Fey, somewhere together in the same tier. I can kind of split them up a little bit. So, okay. This one... We have time. But we are also generating a lot of 1/1s here. Unfortunately, our opponent's playing the Rigo deck. It will have a lot of 1s earlier than ours, so that is going to be our weakness. Thankfully, they're also slowed down by the tap land, so that's a little bit of benefit for us. Definitely want to play... We could play either of these. We just need green. It helps us decide if we want to land Jinnie Fey or if we want to land... I think we do want to land Jinnie Fey first. Also helpful that our opponent decided to go for one... Well, they have a good 1-drop, 2-drop setup. The only Kitesail Cleric is... So we're now knocking on wood that our opponent does... They might have enchantment-based removal, so borrowed time actually helps us. They're going for Rigo. So they're gonna get to draw a card. Also, borrowed time on Rigo, not exactly the most useful. I'm gonna attack first. This is gonna be a bit of a temptation there. They might be tempted to double block. If they take the tree, well, it's fine for us too. Okay, they're just trading the counter. I'm actually fine with that, so... Playing Dawnheart Mentor because at least the other cards are more valuable as... The other cards are more... The other Cabaretti Charms more valuable as an instant. I was gonna use this if our opponent decided to do the mass block. Opponent has their own Jugan. So we now have to decide if we want to do Felidar Retreat into Borrowed Time, or if we want to just do Felidar Retreat land, or if we want to just do or if we want to just do Borrowed Time, nuke this one, because our opponent is kind of I might actually rather just nuke the Kitesail Cleric, which is a real feels bad. There's a Stentia Uprising, which is quite good here for now, but I would rather do Felidar Retreat if it comes to that first. Okay, so by doing that, I do have to snipe I do have to snipe Rigo. They will probably put it back in the command zone. Yep. I could just swing with Jinnie Faye, but they will definitely triple block. Tim Sopkak, hey, how are you doing? Okay, so just that quick trade, not so bad. If our opponent decides to put counters up on these guys, it's actually a benefit for us because, okay, not the Kitesail Cleric. They want to still keep drawing cards, but at least the Thousand Face Shadow, they only need one to hit anyway. So probably no incentive to play Felidar Retreat or Kappa Tech Wrecker for that matter. We are at 9 permanents. Yeah, I kind of need to make a decision. Like, I do want to play Felidar Retreat, but I kind of want to hit the land first. Okay. Opponent's gonna dome us for 3. Okay, hit the land. I guess we do Felidar Retreat now. Hold on. So we're currently at 12. So next turn, I actually just want to play Yeah, now that our opponent has a flip Jugan, I want to just play... So how does Stentia Uprising? Create a token then. So I need to actually get something to die. Should not be that hard. Actually, it might be hard. Return to hand. Actually, that sets us up for 11, 12, 13. So thank you, opponent. So the plan is pretty much to snipe Jugan because this is the one that will grow everything else. So, and if I have to, I can tap the Black Market Tycoon and cast, say, a Cabaretti Charm or Jugan at that point. But kind of want to. I might want to save it for Cabaretti Charm. If they have removal for one of our Quandrix command, ooh. So we get set back to 10, 11, 12. Okay, taking 5, but okay. So let's do a check. Okay. 11, 12. I probably should have attacked first, but no. So we're gonna sacrifice Stentia Uprising. The Remnant is still the biggest threat, even though we... Yeah, it's still fine. We have a Cabaretti Charm that we can use to snipe the Kitesail Cleric. Flyers is gonna be an issue. It is kind of why I put Rigo slightly higher over Jinnie Faye. If I play Jetmir, really doing some math here. Jetmir just gives everything +1, and opponent wants to attack with Kappa Tech Wrecker if he wants to draw a card. I'm willing to block with the cat token at that point. But yeah, the flyers are the biggest enemy. I need to save the Cabaretti Charm for the Kitesail Cleric. Rigo at this point is actually kind of fine. We're gonna have to save Jetmir himself for the big blowout. Yeah, there's... So we'll play Jinnie Fate. Opponent definitely seems to have a response. Okay. So we're probably gonna start a little bit of pressure. I think we can swing with the cat token just to clear up the way a little bit. The important play is to snipe the Kitesail Cleric. Probably not gonna do anything to Rigo at this point. What's their... Exile the top card. Okay, not... So it's a more card draw for our opponent. Opponent concedes. They suspect... Now, technically our opponent could win just by swinging over the top for 2 turns, but looks like our opponent conceded right there. Is there something about what's going on right now that they know what we have in hand? Well, there goes the Jinnie Fade deck. We did have a win planned already, but I guess we're gonna move on to the next Spara's headquarters. Yeah, we'll go to Rigo later, but we're gonna pay a visit to Mr. Orfeo first. So this one's the power doubling deck. We're going to be doing a quick check to see how it pans out. I don't expect this video to be very long. I'm kind of fine with that. Yeah, I would have wished better circumstances, like say having more gold on hand, but sometimes not always the case. Okay, so we land. Okay, so we need to definitely want to play these two, but unless we draw an untapped land, we're not going to be doing anything for multiple turns. I'm tempted to take the free mulligan just because of that. We might as well. Okay, this one's a lot better. We are missing the second red for Flame Skull though. Oh, never mind. Problem solved. So Flame Skull is actually not a bad thing to sack. We need to have at least the double black. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Opponent has suspicion. Yeah, opponent has the best start here for the Rigo deck. So this one being unable to block is a problem. But I can do a surprise. Though I can't block this guy either, so that's well, thank goodness they missed the proper land drop. So I might just go for a Flame Skull. We are full of creatures that can't block, my goodness. If I'm not mistaken, okay, this one can block, it just ETB's tapped. So we have to generate a lot of pests in order to be able to block. We can't block this either anyway. Well, since this can't block, I might as well attack first. Opponent's probably gonna take that. Yeah, we might as well start piling on the damage. The one weakness of the Rigo deck is low power. It's basically assuming it's gonna be able to maintain control over time. So they get to draw a card, we take 3, they get to draw another card. They're hoping to overwhelm us with advantage. Now, I could play Orfeo right away, but... Okay, Rigo blocks the Skyclave Shade. Yeah, that snipes the counter. I'm actually fine with that. Because we can always play him from the graveyard. Just have to save a landfall trigger. Clarion Spirit. Hopefully they don't hit the second... Okay, they hit the second drop. So they will have They will have an extra flyer. I'm hoping they do attack with Rigo though. We can kind of snipe it. It's an alternate plan. Okay. So until the end of my next turn, I can decide between devouring tendrils and flame skull again. If we don't hit an actual 3-drop creature, I might just recast the flame skull. We hit the Blade of the Oni. Hold on. So tendrils is target creature control deals damage. Gain 2 life. Nope, not gonna play that. Gonna play this. Target creature control deals damage. This one we can't block, but this one's gonna generate a lot of blockers. This is gonna be the bigger issue. So we're actually gonna hold this back. Yeah, so we're giving up on the Flame Skull here. We might also want to save... Yep, that's the expected Rigo. They're gonna swing. Oh, they're giving up everything. So, that's easy. So they have a lot of cards. Ooh, Zayatora's Envoy. We're really gonna have to pass on that. I do want to blitz, but not very impressive. Let's see. Blade of the Oni has a reconfigure of 4. Actually, we can do Envoy into an unimpressive Skyclave Shade, but it does give us things to do. So we're just actually hoping our opponent does not have a very big finisher. Actually, that's a good question. What is our opponent's big finisher? Okay, now I'm probably gonna have to let Rigo go. Well, alternately, yeah, I'm gonna have to let Rigo go because any deck with white will have Iganjo. So that's I don't want to just give them the free. I don't want to give them a free kill here. I'm gonna force them to hold up the mana, though they only need to hold up 2 mana in this case. Orfeo only doubles power, it doesn't double toughness. Blade of the Oni converts it from a 4/4 to a 5/5, so at least it will survive. It does eat up quite a bit of mana though. Lagrella the Magpie. Ugh. They had that piece of removal tech. Honestly, I would not target one of your own creatures. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, there you go. Just take the Envoy. Yeah, bit of a whiff there. Now what I should have done is I should have let's see, does our opponent have an actual removal piece here? Quandrix command, return, put 2 1/1 counters on target creature. Oh my gosh, that was my only green source? Well, at least Hold on, if I swing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only had one green source. I thought we had more. My gosh, that was a big whiff. I might actually have to hold this back now. That was really sad. I did not pay attention to my mana. So I would have needed to not cast this. I can only block one creature. I'm probably gonna block this. No, I could have... Yeah, life preservation, not the best thing. So this is how the Rigo deck does win. I did note that they had a reasonable amount of removal. We just did not manage to get a position where... We just did not happen to... Okay, now they're going to... Oh, they went for another suspicious... I thought they would have gone for another Lagrella. This is bad. Missing the... And this is now 4-5, so I can't buff it. I don't think they have a count. Let's see. I'm just trying to look as desperate as possible. Broker's Charm. Yeah. I think, yeah, got them to use up the charm. Still in trouble though. We're taking like what? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're taking 4 damage. Ooh. And yeah, this is the part where they start getting better creatures. I could drop into a Catgeist. Now I'm forced to block. Let's see if they actually did have it. They did. I figured as much. They were attacking with Rigo way too aggressively. I could have gone down to 1, but then again, probably not worth it. Yeah, so we're gonna give this deck a shot. Hopefully against a matchup that's not Rigo, although, because I did notice that they are running a lot of cheap yeah, we can safely concede this one. We needed to draw a... not having green mana all that early was a big issue for us. But let's give this another shot. It's Brawl, it's pre-constructed. You get as many games as you can, so nothing much to lose. So we'll try that one again, and then if we don't get a win with this one, I'll check how much time we'll most likely roll over to the next deck, and we'll probably come back to this deck if we do have time. If not, I probably just play this deck off camera. Let's see. Turn 1, turn 2. Actually, not bad. Opponent's playing Jinnie Fae, which is very popular. We have to take advantage of the fact we have an Arcane Signet. Although, this deck does have some removal. We're also trying to look for another early creature. Though I can just play Orfeo first, no harm, no foul, and then we can just land Halana Elena afterwards. We did... Okay, opponent taking their time. Yeah, we're gonna land the big boy. Now, a bit of a weird sequence that this only doubles an attack, so there's no way we're going to be able to double their power and toughness before dumping counters. Though I will say if our opponent's going for Jinnie Fae, okay, let's get another mountain because we There you go, 8-6. Now, we could double theirs, but it is meaningless at that point. So we're gonna see if our opponent has... They can gum up the board. That's the biggest... Ooh, but I just saw an interesting sequence. We can make Vorinclex an 8-8 into a 16-8. That will eat a lot of count. And then we probably want to save Zayatora for last. Now we have to remember, this deck does have removal. It does have the least amount of removal as far as my counting, if my counting is correct. Professional Facebreaker, not one of them. Whenever a creature control deals combat damage, sure, have a treasure. Actually, have a doggo or a cat. Oh, you may instead. Okay, they're probably gonna just make 2 doggos. Okay, so let's see. If they make 2 doggos, they can actually kill Vorinclex. Oh no, 10-10. I'm actually gonna just swing with just the Vorinclex. Definitely a force block. Yeah, goes down to 2. Mink's Beloved Ranger. Yeah, I think... Yeah, if you're hitting tap lands too early, that is an issue. Yeah, opponent concedes. Vorinclex too strong. We could have won the game right then and there, though, if we had swung more correctly, but... Yeah, we could have swung with Orfeo. They would have had to block multiple ways. No, they would have still survived, and we would have just lost Orfeo. Though they would have been in an unrecoverable position at that point. Okay, so that's... But definitely having an explosive start, or rather, not having a slow start is kind of key. Is key for all these decks. Like even Jinnie Fae, if I'm not mistaken, has a good number of 1-drops. Oh, I take it back. They only have 1-1-drop, a bunch of 2-drops. They're 3-drop heavy. So, them playing those tap lands actually is correct. I'm actually going to play Toulouse next because I think that one is... I might be wrong in the evaluation of this. Toulouse might actually be horrible, looking at how the other 3 decks are going. But yeah, you definitely do not want a slow start. Looks like Jinnie Fae is a lot more vulnerable to slow starts compared to Evelyn and Orfeo. Though I would say that the Toulouse deck also is a significant slow starter. We have Siphon Essence, but if we don't hit another land... The desperation move is to use Bag of Holding to start drawing and discarding. Everyone seems to be playing Jinnie Fae. I really think that is a mistake. Anyway, let's get the Bag of Holding down. We don't need the Tainted Indulgence right away. So we still need black, so I'm gonna go for Obscure Storefront, Arcane Signet. Opponent's gonna get a much faster start. Oh, they did have their Usher. Neat. Oh, we also don't have that many basics as well. Opponent goes for Felidar Retreat. Unfortunately, we need blue and we don't have it. So we have to play the Skybridge Towers now, and might as well hold the Usher for ransom. So our opponent does get to play Jinnie Fae for free. They also probably get to make a token as well. Eska's Chariot. they are missing land drops, but the chariot is still gonna be a problem. We probably need more black. We're not gonna be able to play Tainted Indulgence as much as I want to. I could play Toulouse, but we are the most reasonable play. Also note that hold for ransom, they can still crew the chariot. My best bet might actually just be the interceptor. Oh, I could actually just siphon this. Since our opponent is suffering on the mana front, we can just keep delaying it. We are gonna take a bit of a beating though. We could crack this blood token. I could discard the Tainted Indulgence because we are a ways away from this. Yeah, we might as well just discard this now. There's an argument for discarding the Mnemonic Sphere. Oh, and also because it actually is a non-bow with the Bag of Holding. So why is this thing here then? But we are missing a lot of mana, that's the issue. I can do Fate Bound Judge. It will perma block the chariot. It's just trying to buy time. Eventually we're gonna get eventually we're gonna get overwhelmed. Though our opponent is making more tokens, that probably means they have removal for this. Yeah, I take it back. It looks like the Obscura deck might actually be the worst one. Just letting my experience against all the Raffine control decks, mid-range decks, cloud my judgment. So what's the condition here? Beginning of your upkeep, put the judgment counter. So I only have this blocker for 3 turns, which is kind of unrealistic. I'm more realistically gonna trade it for the chariot. I'm surprised they're Jugan, so they are really going wide here. Yeah, there's no point in blocking the token because it's just gonna keep gaining more tokens. So this is really anti-judge tech. But it's really horrible. This is also super greedy as a... This is also very greedy. Yeah, we have to connive. Yeah. Oh, there's a depopulate. That's good. Let's see if we can survive long enough. So let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. So if so 3, 6, so let's see, we block 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. Foul play kind of more convincing. Also the treasure, oh, this clue token. Oh, I forgot the Felidar retreat, so yeah, that's game. Hold on. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we don't have enough blockers. If I had played one more, yeah, it would not have made a difference. They hit their land. We missed a lot of our land drops. That was an issue. We needed to actually be holding up mana to control, but not convinced. I actually think Bag of Holding is a trap. it was a non-bow with it was a non-bow compared to the it was a non-bow with the tainted indulgence. Also, okay, this is a lot more desirable. We also have a larcenist that we can hit on time. So the question is, do I want to chat? I know this deck is land greedy, so I probably want to actually channel this. I might also have to just play the Moon Circuit Hacker for draw discard. It actually, this one on regular actually combos well with Toulouse. So we're actually going to play the Moon Circuit Hacker first. There's a chance our opponent has a blocker, so be no bueno. But what we could do is we can, if our opponent doesn't have anything, we can land Toulouse, land via Command Tower, swing it Moon Circuit Breaker, get our Connive going. They have something, do they? So we get one Connive. Now, probably now there is actually the possibility of a timing error here. Like our opponent could damage this while the exile's on the stack, so when we discard, we only get one. We will have one card that gets stranded as a result. Containment Construct. You may play that card this turn. I don't think we're gonna need it. So it's not so much about Toulouse. Toulouse is not gonna grow anything beyond the 4/2. It's really gonna be. So let's see. Now, depending on our land situation, our opponent can only play a 2-drop. If it's not removal, I can if it's a creature, I can Bloodchief's Thirst it. Then Nimble Larcenist on the follow-up, which we are going to do. Yeah, let's try to deny as much mana as possible. And let's see what we exile. Foul Play only will hit the Larcenist and Moon Circuit Hacker. Inscription's probably going to be annoying, or in Reef Ooze a little bit less so. I'm going to take the Inscription because that's an instant. Definitely want the Bloodcaster. I guess we discard the Malevolent Hermit. Although, I just realized our opponent does have quite a few non-creatures, so maybe the Malevolent... But the only benefit is that we know they're stuck. Power 2 or less, so this one's not getting true. So discard the Foul Play. Let's discard the Storefront. So we're gonna swing with Toulouse and the Larcenist. No point off. So our opponent could just give us 5 cards. Nope, they're not. Not right away anyway. Opponent can just fight Toulouse. That. No, they're just going for the hacker instead. I probably would have went for foul play instead, though. Yeah, sure, this one's gonna grow, but... I'll just hold this dude for ransom. And we just hold up the Siphon Essence. Opponent finally hit their land. Going for Mr. Orfeo. Now, there's an argument for that... Because Halana Alena is the bigger threat here. Hit the Fateful Mending. Now, I probably don't want to cast Fateful Mending because I'm about to draw 5 cards already. Move to the command zone. Then my trigger should come up. I guess we get another Plains. We play Malevolent Hermit. We play Malevolent Hermit as a way to encourage them to cast Halana Alena so we can Siphon Essence that one. If they cast a non-creature, we can just sack. There we go. That's how you play the Toulouse deck. Am I happy with it? Not quite. So let's see, we played 7. We can hit them down to 2. Let's hope my miscounting does not cost us. Because I can just I'm probably just gonna Fateful Mending end of our opponent's turn. Or I could have also just channeled this to play a land, but not that me. Arcane Signet. Our opponent's starting to finally find their mana. Looks like a concession. Yeah. Yeah, they couldn't get past that one. So we got the win with Toulouse, but on the caveat that our opponent was kind of stuck on mana for a while. I would probably rate the Orfeo deck higher on the grounds that I'm at least proactive and not reactive. It's a personal preference. I would probably put those two in the same rank. Evelyn, I'm actually still down on Jinnie Fae. I still think that the Jinnie Fae deck ranks a bit lower because all it does is generate a ton of creatures and hope and tries to overwhelm. But if the opponent can't get overwhelmed, they're able to have a stable board. It's kind of over. So last deck up is going to be Rigo. So we've encountered this a few times. Both of them looking quite well. In fact, I think one of the matches, I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to have won. Our opponent conceded either out of the goodness of their hearts or conceded just prematurely. I can't say which is which. But we have a decent start. Actually, this is probably one of the best starts we could get. So this was the power start that our opponent had last time, but we have to be cautious because our opponent ended up conceding that match. We also have to be careful against this one because we know they have access to Vampire's Vengeance and Hostile Takeover. So I might as well draw the card now. Yeah, Glasspool Mimic's problem. Yeah, give ourselves options. Oh no. We did concede one match. We were playing the Orfeo deck. No, they did not have this start, but they had a much more brutal start with Rigo. In fact, I don't think Falcon Rat Pit Fighter. So they know we're going for the auto Rigo. I can in fact swing with both. Opponent probably gonna end up just dealing damage to us. We'll see if they decide to. If they swing with this, we're gonna take the damage. We're just gonna have to be conscious of Vampire's Vengeance. Also note that we can use Touch the Spirit Realm's blink effect. It returns it at the end step, so we have that option. So it might actually get us to play Suspicious Stowaway instead. Although Croaking Counterpart and Spirited Companion is quite nice too. So as I said, we're gonna take. This is a sorcery speed spell though. Let's see, we're gonna need double white. We need quite a bit of blue also. I don't remember how much green we need. I'd say we go for the double blue, double green. We know we're about to land this one. I'm gonna swing with everything first. We have a blink effect. Okay, drew the land. That's pretty good. Now, probably don't want to play anything. I really suspect there is a Vampire's Vengeance incoming. Now, although letting our creatures die is not so bad, Sigarden's Savior actually brings them back. It's mana value 2 or less, so it will bring these two back. So letting them die might not be the worst thing. Running into a big creature like, say, an Immerstrom Predator, that might be much worse. Though in that case, it's a good thing we've saved the Touch the Spirit Realm for that card instead. Yeah, it's a shame that this is not an... Well, maybe it's a good thing that this is not an instant. Nighthawk Scavenger. Okay, that is a decent... Yep, that's a good card to... That's a good card to touch. Oh yeah, also have the Lion Sash too. Probably don't sash right away until we have cards that we can eat. Monk class. Yeah, we'll cast this one. Yeah, Monk class actually just getting the bonus from the second spell is actually a big deal. So like, I could say cast Suspicious Stowaway, cast Lion Sash for 1, and leave myself 2 extra white mana if our opponent actually has things in the yard right now. Alternately, it allows us to stow away Counterpart into something. Many options. Like a copy of, okay, opponent does have Florian, so that puts a bit of a damper on our plans. Glasspool Mimic only copies a creature we control. Let's see, when this class becomes level 2, return... Oh! Opponent's gonna be on the lookout for a land, or... They played a land. Yeah, they played a land. So they're gonna be unable to play Katose. So knowing that... Like, I could just tap this with Network Terminal, but I'm gonna bounce this instead. No point in casting that right away. Yep, definitely not casting that. We'll cast the Stowaway first. And we will take advantage of this. We'll make a copy of Spirited Companion. Now, Stowaway is bigger in the long term, but yeah, we kind of want to start drawing into our interaction. Also, note, yeah, opponent conceded right there. We took away a lot of their tempo. So the Rigo deck is probably that I would put it on the top tier. I'd put Jinnie in the bottom tier. I'd put the other 3 decks somewhere in the middle based on your personal preference. My personal preference is would be the Toulouse deck on the bottom because it's so reactive. Then I would probably put. I'm not so sure which I like better between Evelyn and Orfeo. I would put both of them right next, but definitely my tiers would be Rigo on top, Evelyn or Orfeo, Toulouse, then Jinnie Fay. That's kind of my tier list. And it pretty much comes around to just the amount of interaction. But anyway, it's your personal preference, and you don't actually have to play all the games out if you want to get the rewards. So it's your choice. But I would say if you are taking a look into this, a lot of people are playing the Rigo deck for a good reason. I would keep it at that. That's gonna be it for this episode, the Magic Arena Run. Many thanks to those who tuned in and threw a like. Thanks to Philip M. Gibo. Thanks Gibo. Thanks to Jericho Ilaga, and thanks to Tim Sobkak. Again, bit of an unusual episode this week, but next week we will have new Capenna plus Alchemy. I think it should still be up by next week. If that's the case, then we will do a run of that. Until then, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.